Hey guys, Eli here and welcome to Horizon Overland. In today's video, I'm going to show you a 1989 Suburban four-wheel drive, the 7th generation. I just got this one and I'm super excited about it because I've been meaning to get one of those for a while. So I'm going to show you what it looks like now before I do any work on it, just as I got it. We're going to do the exterior, then we're going to do the interior, and then we'll do some driving impressions. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, so here it is. So this is a 1989 Suburban four-wheel drive Silverado model. The Silverado model is actually the top of the line model on these trucks. This is a half-ton four-wheel drive with the solid front axle and the automatic locking hubs in the front, which is really cool. I love the fact that it has the solid front axle. This is why I've been looking for one of these, is because of the solid front axle and the locking hubs. It makes it a little bit more capable for off-roading. You can tell it's not really in factory condition. It's had some work done on it. The very first thing you notice is the paint. The paint is definitely not factory. It's actually Rhino liner paint with kind of a gray finish. Rhino liner is something I've been looking into for a while, and this one has it, so I'm okay with it. If you ask me like whether I prefer the factory look or something modified like this, I definitely would shoot for factory because in my opinion that holds its value way more. However, this Suburban is going to live a life of adventure, overlanding, off-roading, so the Rhino liner is actually pretty cool to have, especially if you go into narrow woods that you don't scratch your factory paint. So this one has it, and I'm okay with it. And it's not that bad. It's actually pretty good quality work. This one has 22-inch wheels on it. Luckily, the previous owner has also provided me with the original wheels, so those are going to go back on. I do not like the 22-inch wheels at all, and those are not really helpful when you do go off-roading. But I mean, you can see it's in good shape. The body's very straight. It is missing, like the side steps, and then there's no roof rails, so those things will be added later on. But I mean, otherwise, I mean, it's in really good shape. So you could see there's some tint on the rear windows. This is the half-ton model, so it does have the Chevy 350. It has the rear barn doors, which is what I prefer. All the chrome pieces on this truck have been blackened out. The exhaust has been replaced, so the pipe is sticking out a bit. I think I'm going to cut that so it's not sticking out so much. You could see the light gray Rhino liner on black combo. I mean, I think it looks badass, especially when you add a 4-inch lift and some nice off-road tires and some nice wheels. Yeah, there's a lot of work that I'd like to get done on this, and I'm super excited about this one. This one's definitely going to be really cool to see it become an overlander. So this is pretty much the exterior. Let me go ahead and show you the interior now. Okay, let me show you under the hood before we go on to the interior. So this is a Chevy 350, the bulletproof Chevy 350. Only 92,000 miles on this bad boy, so very low mileage. You could see how much space we have here. So this is a prime example of how easy it is to work on these things because you just have so much space. I mean, like, these are your spark plugs right there. If you need to replace those, just reach in there and take those out, The 7th generation Suburbans began their life as a carbureted Chevy 350 in the half tons. But this one is fuel injected, which makes it a little bit more reliable, makes it a little bit more economical, and definitely smoother to drive. I mean, it's got AC, which unfortunately is not working at the moment. All the components are there. Everything is pretty much factory. Nothing has been modified in the engine, so this is very much factory condition in the engine department. So yeah, that's the engine. Let's go ahead and move to the interior now. All right, moving on to the interior. and it's red. So this is, this is, as I said earlier, the Silverado edition. You can see it says Silverado right there. So it's got the red interior, which was premium back then, with the bucket seats in the front and some like really thick kind of cloth. The seats are in excellent shape. Even the rear seats in the back, you get a bench seat on one side and kind of an individual seat on the other, and those obviously they fold flat just like in the newer ones. But here you could see like everything's all there. The headliner is sagging just a little bit, but otherwise it's in great shape. I really like the red interior. It kind of gives it personality. I mean, you notice here the interior is actually very much complete. It has been left stock factory, unlike the exterior. Obviously we have the Rhino liner out here and the wheels, but here everything is left alone. Nothing was really changed. Even the stereo is still the OEM stereo, which is really cool. So let me walk you through the whole thing. You have your power door locks, which unfortunately are not working at the moment. We will fix that. You got your 4 power windows, no power mirrors. You got that manual, you just adjust it manually. You have a little opening here for a little extra window. I mean, all older cars had that. Here's your light switch. Here's, you have your battery readout, your oil pressure, and your temperature gauge. Here's your speedometer, no tachometer, and here's your fuel gauge. Everything here works. Everything is reading accurately. Your climate control and your OEM stereo. The stereo works, but the speakers are blown out on this side as well as the rear. I don't hear any sounds coming from that side or the rear. So that the stereo is going to have to be changed. We're going to probably put something with a backup camera, as well as update the speakers. The climate control, the heater core has been replaced, but the blower motor needs to be replaced as well. AC does not work, so that also needs to be diagnosed, and hopefully all it is just it needs a recharge. This is the 4-wheel drive. It's not a button operation. It is it's a lever. This thing only has 93,000 miles, and it's been verified, and I'm super happy about that fact. 93,000 miles is a baby in these cars. I mean, these, again, I've said it in many of my other videos, these cars are known to have well over 200,000 miles, especially the older ones. And this one only, this one's a baby. This one's only got 92,000 miles. All right, so here's the back area. You could see everything is in great shape. Everything is all there. No rips in the seats. No, the carpet is a little dirty, not too bad. The headliner is sagging on this side as well as the other side. So really, really good looking interior. All right, so here's the rear area. So you can see the barn doors. I like these barn doors because they actually open pretty far out. And here there's a lever for this one, and then you can see how wide they open. So yeah, usually on these there's a 3rd row seat where that big drawer is, but the previous owner has actually used this vehicle as a maintenance truck. So he had installed this really big heavy duty kind of a shelf drawer. You can put stuff up here as well as down here. You can see here, these are all the original wheels that came with that were on this truck until they got replaced by the 22-inch wheels. I'm gonna put these back on very, very soon. I'm not gonna drive the truck with 22-inch wheels for very long, so we're gonna temporarily replace them with the OEM factory wheels and tires, and then later on I'll look into getting something a little bit more off-road oriented as more of an upgrade when I do the lift and the get some tires and wheels. You can see how versatile these trucks are, and this is a prime example. Like, this truck lived a life of maintenance and work, and now it's going to live a life of adventure and overlanding. So yep, that's the rear area. Let's go ahead and drive it now. All right, guys, so driving the 89 Suburban, it actually drives really nice. The engine is very healthy. It started right up. There's no issues there. The throttle control is very smooth. There's no ticking noise. There's no weird noises coming from the engine department. It actually feels like a 90,000 mile vehicle, so I'm very happy with the way you know, the engine and the transmission feel. The transmission feels great. The four-wheel drive works. All that stuff is in good shape. All the powertrain and the drivetrain are in very good shape on this truck. There's a slight alignment issue and there is a noise coming from one of the wheels, and I would attribute that to the 22-inch wheels that are on there. I think the wheel bearings are coming out, and then, you know, it's just those wheels are not meant for a truck like this, especially a four-wheel drive truck. I get it if it was a two-wheel drive, totally fine, you could put those wheels on there, but like a four-wheel drive truck, it's just, to me, they don't really go with that setup. So you know, the suspension for the most part feels good. The shocks feel a little bit worn out, so that's going to be addressed as well. We're going to put new shocks and we're going to lift the body about 4 inches. So that's going to be good. There are some maintenance issues, like the front axle is actually leaking, so we will have to we'll have to get the repairs done on that. And the transmission pan also, there's leaks coming from the bottom, and I think that's just the gasket. Again, I mean, this is an 89 truck, so it's really old. So those, you know, things like that are to be expected, but nothing is major. All that stuff is easy to deal with. The brakes feel that they may need to be looked at. When you press the brakes, there is vibration at high speed. So that's probably the rotors being worn, and then the one caliper grabs a little bit more than the other, so we'll have to look into that. But I'm definitely going to do brake work on this as well, you know, to make sure that the braking is actually in good shape. But yeah, I mean, everything is good. I did mention earlier the AC is not working, power door locks are not working, and the lower motor for the climate control is actually pretty it's like intermittent, so that needs to be replaced. But I mean, other than that, like, everything is in good shape. Just all those items that I mentioned are pretty much what I found to be wrong with it. Obviously I'll get it checked out, I'll get it up on the lift, you know, do some more inspection. Hopefully there's nothing more than what I'm noticing now. And my gut tells me that it's gonna be okay. But yeah, I'm really happy with it overall. You know, I'm super excited about what I'm gonna do next to it. It's actually the list is quite long, but in the end, this thing is really gonna turn out to be a beautiful looking Overlander. You know, it's already got the Rhino liner, which is something I've been wanting to do to these trucks. They're not meant to be show trucks. They're meant to be driven and used, and that's the life it's gonna live. It's gonna live a life of adventure and overlanding. So I look forward to doing all that on this rig. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching this video. I really appreciate it. And until next time, be safe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.